Welcome back to Fabricating Awesome Stuff. In order to be certain that the engine sensors, the starter, and the ignition systems, basically everything electrical on the engine works properly, it's very important that there be a very strong ground path from the engine to the battery. So in today's episode, we're going to fabricate a ground wire that we're going to attach to one of the starter bolts and run directly to the ground bus on the fuselage. So let me know what you think in the comments, and remember to like and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these updates. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, and thanks for watching. Okay, we're going to crimp these terminals on the end of this wire that we're going to use for a ground wire from the starter to the ground bus on the airplane. First thing we're going to do is we're going to insert the wire in the lug. And I'm using a hydraulic crimping tool that I got at Harbor Freight to accomplish this task. So we'll just place this in the die. Okay, now we've got a nice crimped lug there. We'll take a piece of heat shrink. We'll go ahead and heat shrink it. Put the piece of heat shrink on here. Here we're going to crimp this connector. One's a bigger connector for the starter, the other one is a smaller hole in the connector for the ground bus. So go ahead and put this in the crimper. There we go. So we have a nice crimp on this one also. Put the heat shrink over it and heat up the heat shrink. So we made a ground wire to go from the starter to the ground bus. And so I'm going to go ahead and install it on one of the starter bolts. Just get it started on here loosely. And now we'll figure out how we want to run this. I want a 8L clamp up here, and I want an 8L clamp down here. So it's going to go like this, and then down to the ground bus. So the ground bus is on the firewall. And I'll go ahead and take that loose. Okay, and then the ground wire is going to go right on here. Tighten it on the ground bus so it's nice and tight. And it's going to come like this, or like this. Here's a close-up of what we were just doing. We've got a ground wire that we made that is going from the starter bolt, and it's coming along this engine mount. We have it mounted on an 8L clamp right there, and then another 8L clamp, and then it's going down to the ground bus. That lug right there on the outside of the firewall is connected to what is called a forest of tabs on the inside of the firewall, where every ground wire that's coming from any device in this aircraft, all are terminating at this ground bus through that forest of tabs. So that way it should prevent a lot of radio noise and so forth in the future, because the grounds, we don't have grounds everywhere. And we also have the power wire coming from the master solenoid going to the starter right there. That white wire is going to the master solenoid, and that will power the starter.